A friend of mine sent me this post from Reddit because I've been expressive, even on this channel, that I quote, hate kids. The Reddit post goes, I keep seeing this trend, mostly online, where people say they hate kids, don't want to see them in public. They should stay at home, blah, 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 as if it's some kind of progressive take. Sorry, but it's not. It's just discrimination. And guess an entire group of people. Children are a huge demographic of our society. They are literally people, even if they're younger and loud. If someone said, I hate people of different race/nationality, I don't want to see them in public, everyone would instantly call them out for being prejudiced and exclusionary. But when someone says the exact same thing about kids, suddenly it's met with agreement? How does that make sense? We live in communities. Communities include kids, adults, seniors. If anything, what's actually progressive is building a society where everyone has space, kids, parents, child-free adults, the elderly, everyone. Because children aren't going away. And acting like their presence in public is some kind of problem is not only absurd, it's actually dehumanizing. This is a stereotypical Reddit user type of behavior. Whiny, oh my discrimination. Overly emotional and exaggerated social justice warrior demeanor. Of course, it made it to the front page of Reddit because 90% of the Reddit population is like this. Now, this is a really, really, really bad take. By using the word discrimination is insane to me. This whole post is trying to create a direct comparison and put some sort of historical or systematic weight on their opinion by using the word discrimination here, is where this hyperbolic, stereotypical Reddit venting style I mentioned becomes a moral crusade. Although I understand where they're going with this. If I can recreate what they're trying to say without sounding like a whiny Reddit user, they're basically saying that kids are human beings who are growing and clearly in development. They're kids, obviously, and society needs to be more tolerant towards them, just like how we're tolerant towards other groups, like people who are older or disabled. We're more patient with disabled and elderly people who have varying needs more than we're patient with children. So they feel it's unfair for people to not have that same mentality or patience towards children as well. Now, the reason why, despite me understanding the fundamental or core part of this person's take, I still believe it's a very bad take is because when people say, I hate kids, it's not a literal thing like I genuinely hate kids. Hate is a very strong emotion. I don't really think people who say they hate kids hate the kids themselves. What they're really trying to say is what they're really doing rather is focusing their frustration on the child's behavior instead of pivoting the blame to the parents. And the problem is, for some reason, a lot of parents feel like they need to defend or it's okay for children to be frustrating or disruptive or a nuisance in public because, quote, they're just kids. Kids are going to be kids. And because that's so common and normalized, people will say they hate kids rather than I hate the parents of that kid. This is probably going to hurt someone's feelings, especially those who are parents or guardians of, I mentioned guardians, like you have like a little brother or a little sister because maybe your parents aren't around and you're looking after this kid, right? Because I'm just going to be honest and blunt about this. If a child is acting loud, obnoxious, throwing rage fits and other frustrating public displays, it's because whoever is raising or teaching that child has not taught them enough empathy. If you actually teach empathy to a child, they understand how their actions may affect others. If you encourage them to use their quiet voice in places to not disturb or distract people, or why they need to navigate or guide themselves through public spaces respectfully, in most cases, unless a child is lacking their needs fulfilled, they're not going to act up. As a parent, you need to set clear boundaries with empathy as well, explaining why running around in crowded areas is not okay. Again, help this child understand how their actions may affect others. But you also have to model yourself with good behavior too, because kids mirror what they see. If you have no patience, have rage fits, your kid is going to do the same thing. They're going to think it's okay because you're doing it. If you don't say please and thank you, your kid won't say please and thank you. If you have no humility and you can't apologize when you make a mistake, your kid is also going to adopt the fact of not apologizing. And the sad part is, parents or guardians think schools should do the parenting for them. Like schools should teach them that. Why, bro? How about be a parent instead? You had a kid and you aren't choosing to do the bare minimum work that comes with it. Like you should be teaching your child basic manners. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this whole empathy conversation, when it's not taught early, this is why when they become teenagers or young adults, they don't know how to act in public. I always feel like people who talk really loud in public places have this issue. Like, are you even aware, like, that some people are having their own conversations and peace of mind outside, and you're really, 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 really loud when you're talking, like in a restaurant, for example, and you're disrupting their own space? Like, are you thinking about how others may feel in public? And yes, sometimes you get excited and passionate about a topic, so you may talk louder. But some people, it's different, you know, like it just doesn't register to them. It's always on maximum volume because they don't care for others as much. They always want to be the center stage with what they're talking about or what they're doing, like a child, like a kid, right? This is what I'm talking about. A lot of people end up building their empathy after they become a grown adult, and that's just part of life's journey. But the Reddit post kind of argues that by saying, well, you say that, right? They'll be like, well, you know, you gain empathy as you get older, right? You learn more about it. That's just part of life's journey. But, well, a kid also builds empathy as they get older. And that's part of life's journey as well. We should treat the kids like, what, don't be discriminated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, when people say kids are going to be kids, they're going to be loud, right? So we're going to make excuses for not parenting them? Then how is this argument justified? Yes, kids are going to be kids, but if there's no training and a complete showcase of reckless behavior, and that is normalized, unfortunately, when people are mad and say they hate kids, they have every reason to feel that way. Parents, or rather people, are having kids and they're still a kid, low key, despite being a grown age. The same skill sets, compassion, empathy, whatever you're supposed to teach your kids, some of these same young parents or people don't know how to do themselves. And let's say they have it. They don't know how to teach it. This is why, personally, me, I don't have kids, or I'm still on the fence about it. I don't have the greatest empathy. I'm aware of that. I've developed it a lot during the past few years, and if you've been following my channel and even the old channel I had, you know how bad I was on my old channel and some older videos, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just don't have the patience or guidance to have children yet. I'm not going to bring a child into this world and not give them all the tools they need to succeed. The Reddit post completely misses the bullseye with what they're trying to express. They're too busy playing social justice warrior, equality for all nonsense. Like, yo, what is this? Like, and they completely overlook where the quote trend comes from. Again, they take it too literally. Speaking of Reddit, this is almost like a whole whoosh moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this whole I hate kids trend, dude, first of all, again, don't take it literally, but you're also making justifications or putting an okay on a kid being disruptive and lacking empathy or lacking parenting or guidance in life. No, that's not okay. And that's never okay. Again, a kid may be disruptive because they need their needs fulfilled, right? So a kid may be, you know, they'll cry about it, right? They're hungry or they're tired, you know what I'm saying? But being straight up a nuisance in public, like a lot of kids are, not being respectful in areas with other people because they aren't taught the right thing is not okay. So you talking about, they specifically use the word loud, like, no, that's not okay. Like, that has nothing to do with their needs not being fulfilled. That has something to do with you not showing them how to act in public. And whoever is responsible over that child is accountable. But who is going to take accountability if kids will just be kids? If that's your mentality. Like, this person, I saw you. I didn't read the edit part that they put in their post. They said this is like a woman in their 20s. Bro, please don't have kids. With all due respect, if your mentality is like kids will just be kids, so it's okay for them to be loud, it's okay for them to act this way, it's okay to disrupt other people. Yo, you are the problem. you're going to add to this same exact problem where people say, I hate kids. They're not going to be mad at you necessarily. Some people may be like, oh, it's the parents' fault. So they're going to be mad at you specifically. But because you're so in this equality, social justice warrior mentality, you just want to feel like, yo, it's okay. They're just going to be kids, bro. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? That's just an excuse to not be a role model and do the bare minimum as a parent or guardian. Anyway, this episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.